So when I first got to Germany, I was like a ghost. No one like noticed me, and I was like, hey, like, where's my welcome?
Hi, welcome back to Beyond Borders, a podcast that will give you tips and share experiences about how the real process of applying to university is. I'm your host, Miranda Montoy, and I am glad to be here one more episode. In this episode, we're going to interview Alexandra WETZELL IBAñEZ, a brilliant Alexander von Humboldt student that studied German among all her life, experiencing different activities and different adventures that, like the exchange that she did last year, where she lived 3 whole months with exchange family on Germany. She did learn a lot on these experiences, and she's going to talk us about this adventure that she had. Also, she's going to guide us among the way of the Abitur, that is like an IB, but of in Germany, basically, that allow her to apply directly to these German universities. She was accepted to different universities, but finally she chose the Stuttgart University, a very famous and a very top university, especially on biotechnology, and also one of her top choices. So come along and see this interview and be amazed of this amazing student. So tell us where you'll be heading this year.
Well, I'm headed to Stuttgart in Germany. And as you already said, I think I'm going to the University of Stuttgart, and I'm really excited about it. It's going to be really enthusiastic. I don't know, exciting.
What did you choose this university in particular?
Well, they have the career that I'm going to be studying. I really like the curricula of it. So it had a lot of practica and laboratory stuff. And the city is like in the south of Germany. So it's near to a bit of France and a bit of Switzerland too. So I chose that because I like to travel. So that way I had like this facility.
What will you be studying, and why did you choose this field in specific?
I'm going to be studying some kind of biotechnology. In German is technische Biologie, and it differentiates a bit from biotechnology, because you can then specialize yourself in 3 different ways. I don't remember quite well what the 3 are, but I'm going to be specializing in medicine, but in the 4th semester, I think. And I really like that because I always wanted to be part of something like pharmaceutical and like vaccines or that kind of stuff. Really thrilled me. And this way I can't not study medicine, but be a part of it still.
And you always like the part of medicine, the field of medicine, or like recently you start liking this type of thing?
Well, quite both, because when I was a child, I always found interesting the astrophysics and biology and just science stuff. I just got really invested in it, and I'm not like the brightest of all. I'm not like super good qualifications and stuff, but I'm really interested in the topic, and I wanted to give me a bit of a challenge and to study something that I really like and I'm curious about.
And there's something like special that you like about the university that you choose? It was your first option. What made you choose this university above all the ones that have accepted you?
Well, it was my first and second option. With the University of Stuttgart, I had in my favorites the University of Heidelberg, and that one is really good for medicine and science. So I wanted to go to that one, but I got waitlisted because I applied a bit late.
Mhm.
and I got waitlisted. So I entered the University of Stuttgart, and I also chose that one because it was a bigger city. And as I live in Lima, Peru, I really like the big city kind of style because you have like many things to do and everything's around you. And there's a lot of, I don't know, people from different countries. And I really like that kind of lifestyle.
And you always wanted to study in Germany, or it was like a recent dream or a recent goal that you had?
Well, yes, I think I never considered Peru as an option because I studied in a German school my whole life, and I have learned German since kindergarten. So German was always like a part of my life. And then I did the Abitur, that's like the German IB, and I thought to myself like, I'm not gonna give like that much thing and strength into the in this IB if I'm not gonna be studying in Germany.
Mhm.
And Germany has like a really good education, so I really wanted to go. And yes, always I always knew I was gonna leave eventually.
Yeah, I always wanted to leave also. I'm 10th grade. My next year is like my last year, but I
Mhm.
always had in mind to study abroad. I know what like that feeling can be. You're fluent in German, English, and I think a little bit of French. Tell
Yes, a
us
little.
Tell us about your language learning journey and how did it begin? How did it help you during your application process?
Well, my journey with languages, as I already mentioned, I learned German since kindergarten. So, like, my whole school life was in German. And in fifth grade, we got introduced to English. So, that was like, first years are a bit intense so that you get to the level they want you to get to. And then in my school, we also do the Cambridge certificate exams. So we also did those. And French, I don't recall quite well, but I think it was in secondary school, maybe in tercero secundaria,
Mhm. Okay.
like ninth grade, I think.
Yeah, uh-huh.
10th grade. Then we got introduced to French. It was optional, so you could do or like just don't choose, just not choose French.
Mhm.
But I chose French because I don't know. It was always interesting to me, the French, right? Like it's always kind of sexy, so it's really like funny to learn French. And then I learned French. It was quite easy because of the German. So like a new language wasn't that hard for me. But I still struggle a bit with conjugating the verbs
Mhm.
as I'm speaking in French because I just want to speak and I don't think like I don't think it through. So I sometimes make mistakes.
Yeah, in my school they implemented French like I think last year or 2 years ago. So I
Mhm.
only have the 1 year of French. And then well, I have the option to study French in IB, but well, I don't know. It wasn't my favorite like language, but I reached A1 level. I think that you
Mhm.
reach a B2 or
Yeah, me too.
okay. So yeah, it's very difficult because all the words are like very different because the accent is like
Yes.
it's it's a I don't
Uh-huh.
know. it,
Yeah.
actually in my class in like in yeah in my class I have three friends that are having IB French and
And
they
they're struggling.
yeah they're struggling a lot. It's difficult. It's difficult. Well,
Yeah.
I'm curious. Do you have like a German family, or you're like the
Um,
only one that speaks German?
well, I'm not the only one that speaks German because my little sister is in my same school. but in my family, like parents, grandparents, and stuff, no one speaks German. But my last name is German because I think it was the grandpa of my grandpa that was German. But the German got lost in my family, so I'm the first one that's going to be like coming back to Germany.
That was like a bit difficult because I think that in your school, that it's Humboldt,
Mhm.
it is like there are a lot of German families, so it was like different type of, I don't know, they treat you different or they like teach you different. Like it was, I don't know.
Well, my year was the first that made like a change. Like the school made a change in my year. They stopped separating because before my year they had like one or two classes just for Germans and sons of Germans and German people that came to study in Peru. So they were like a bit separated and got like mother tongue, native, advanced German.
Mhm.
And the other ones had like normal classes. Like everything is in German in my school, except for like, I don't know,
Spanish.
um, Spanish. Yeah, Spanish and English and other languages, but like math, science, everything is in German.
Well.
Um, but these classes have like a bit of different style of teaching, but a bit, just a bit.
Mhm.
And in my grade, they made this change that they wanted to immerse the other students that had like the potential to learn this like advanced German. So in fourth grade, we got separated in the German classes. Like it was like time for German, and then some students of the class went to another class with others from other classes, and we got these classes with the German ones.
Mhm.
So we got a bit like integrated, and then in sixth grade we got separated in those like two types of classes, the native German and the, how do you say, foreign German.
Mhm.
Yeah, foreign German. um and I was there, and these classes that have the native German are the ones that have like the qualifications to do this abitur.
How did preparing for Cambridge exams, like the PETs, the CAT, the FC, the CP, help you shape your confidence in the academic and personal, like language part of your life?
Yeah, I think those prepare me a bit because, for example, now I have the confidence to agree to an interview with you in English, being like a Spanish native speaker.
Mhm.
Um, I think that really builds up a bit of character because you have to face those interviewers that normally come from, I don't know, England, or yeah, mostly from England, I think. Um, so you have that kind of practice, I think, and yeah, I don't know, that I think that helped me a bit to have more confidence to choose to study abroad.
Yeah. And what advice do you have for students trying to learn a language deeply, like not like academically, um, to actually live in it, like in this language?
I didn't hear the first part. Excuse
Okay,
me.
so what advice would you give to
Oh.
students that are trying to learn a language, but not like a foreign language, but to actually live in it, like you are going to do in Germany?
Mhm. Well, my first and strongest advice is, if you can, go and study abroad like a semester or some 1 or 2 months, do an exchange, because that really helped me. I did one for 2 months in 2023, and that really helped me to like know what my mistakes were in the part of speaking the language. And you really get to that confidence part I was talking about, because you get to speak to native Germans, and they get to understand you, and they also correct you sometimes because
Mhm.
you make friends, and they can make a bit of fun of you.
Mhm.
But you learn that you learn that way. And if you have the I would really recommend you to do it, because it really opens like a whole new perspective on life and what your future can be, you know.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I don't know, watch movies in the language, or maybe read, but I would recommend more like hearing the language,
Mhm.
because that way you just like set your mind to just understand and translate.
Yeah. What surprised you the most when you arrived in Germany for those 2 months of exchange, like culturally or academically or like socially?
Um, I think the most shocking part was socially, because the groups were really separated, and it wasn't like in Peru that some exchange student arrives and I was always the first one to be welcoming them or saying hello or come sit with me. I don't know, I was in my class and in my grade, we were always like really welcoming, and like, I don't know, we tried to include the new person because we knew they could be like struggling a bit with a new country or a new city, new language. I don't know, no. So when I first got to Germany, I was like a ghost. No one like noticed me, and I was like, hey, like, where's my welcome? And it was just the my exchange student with um, her group of friends, and the group of friends from another exchange student that was also going with me. So I kind of made two different type of friend groups. But the other people in the class were like, I don't know, immuted. They just
Whoa.
didn't care that much.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end, I got friends. I made friends with all of them. Well, most of them. But the first time, it's shocking because we're used to like Latino culture
Mm-hmm.
with it's really warm, you know,
Uh-huh.
and that was a bit shocking.
Yeah. Yeah, also it's a stereotype, I think, because when I think of German, I don't think like them hugging other people. I think like
Yeah,
them being very serious and like very concentrated in their own things and like that.
and the stereotypical German stare, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
and the strong accent, like they're like shouting to you, but they are actually
yeah.
speaking.
Uh,
Well, looking back, what is the most valuable thing you learned during those weeks in Germany?
I think being yourself is what gets you friends. Also, being confident and sure about what you're saying, and not being scared to make mistakes, because it's not the end of the world if you try to say something like a sentence and you get something wrong, or the word placement. It's not the end of the world. At the end, they understand what you're trying to say. So don't be afraid to just talk and try to make friends.
Can you walk us through the I'm going to try to say how should start system and how does it work and what do students need to know before you apply them?
Okay, first of all, for I'm gonna talk about my process with the Abitur. That's the German IB. If you have that, you have to apply via
Hmm.
Hochschulstadt.de.
That's what I
That's
was trying
like,
to say.
yeah, I know. That's the system every university and University of Applied Sciences uses in Germany. You apply through that to the uni portal, and with your code you get like a how's it called in English, like an ID, like a
Hmm.
postulant ID,
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
and you get like a password too, and then when you apply, you write those two ones, and then it automatically comes to this other system, the Hochschulstadt. Then you can prioritize the ones that are your most favorite to the least favorite. So that way, when the date comes, like you cannot touch anything from that date, like on. And then when you get accepted, then the ones from under start getting deleted, like from bottom up. So that was a bit stressful, because it was like, what if I don't get accepted in my favorite ones, and the ones from under are already like gone, and I don't have like many to choose from. But at the end, everything worked out, because you don't get deleted the one you got accepted in, that's like more to the top. That one stays, but the other ones are gone. Then the process, about the application, to apply, you have to have your abi. That's like a German university qualification and entry, something like that was the name. It's like a entry qualification, something like that. You have to have that or something equivalent. Then you also have to write a CV, like a curriculum,
like a resume.
A resume with everything you did from like the kindergarten to now, because they have to see that you didn't study like in a university. For example, if you did a gap year, or like me, that I had to wait from November that I ended my Abitur until now that we're August, or July when I was applying. You have to write like gap year or something, because they have to know that you didn't go and do a semester abroad or here or anywhere. Then you also need, you don't need a language certification, because the Abitur counts, like now counts as a German C2 level, or C1, depending, but it was a C2. And if you also had English, that counts as an English B2 level. And well, French, you don't need that unless you're studying something related. Those things from that part. And then some universities ask for a motivation letter, like the ones they ask for in the United States. And I don't remember what else. I don't think that I think that was it. Yeah. Some universities ask for like a test, like a interest test about your interests, but you do that in 10 minutes. They give you like the link of the page you have to do it, from where you have to do it, and then you do it in 10-20 minutes, and then you get a PDF, like a certificate, like I did it. Like you made the test, yeah. And then you have to upload that with your application, but that was it. It's really like easy.
And will you like take a gap year or study a semester in our university, it affect in some way your application, like you being accepted or declined or waitlisted, or it's like only just the universities to know?
I think, well, it is for universities to know and to have like in consideration, but I think that's because they have to know that you didn't study somewhere else and like couldn't do it, and then you're switching to that university as if you were like starting right now. And also in Germany, you have 2 tries at applying, like two I don't know what's the word, but it's like if you apply and get like rejected, then you have one try more, and if not, you cannot enter anymore.
Okay.
So if I were to be denied or rejected this year, I could apply in next semester. But if I didn't enter, if I don't enter next semester, I cannot apply anywhere in Germany else anymore.
Whoa, that's harsh.
Yeah. I don't actually know if that's just for universities or for universities and University of Applied Sciences. Because in Germany you have like 3 different types of universities.
Oh, okay. What practical tips would you give other students applying to German universities through Abitur path or to like, I don't know, German type of stuff?
My tip would be, when applying, have all your documents ready, and for the resume, try to do something that adds you points. Like, it's not just about having like an A plus, I don't know, like super good notes, qualifications. It's about the other stuff too. Like, if you're gonna do something related to science, try to get an internship somewhere related to that field. If you're trying to do I don't know, something in business or economics, try to get involved there. Or there's Coursera, that's a website. You can do many courses there. I did one in biology, from stem cells, was really interesting. And that way you can also know if you really like the subject, or if it's just in your mind, you know. I don't know, do courses, add things to resume, have all your documents prepared, and just try to stay calm. Germans take their time to process the application, and you don't have to get stressed by it, or anxious. They will get to yours. So be patient.
Like to future applicants that should prepare in advance, how they should prepare in advance for the visa and the moving process. It is different or difficult to move like to the other part of the world, or how is that process?
Okay, for the visa, again, have all your documents prepared, but I mean all of them. You have to have the ones like a file with the originals. Then you have to have a file of everything you had there, plus no, I mean, the first file is originals. The second file's copy from every original and everything you had in the first file. And you can also have a third file with just random things you could get asked to have. For example, and for the visa, you have to have a motivation letter, like, why do you want to study in Germany, what are you going to study, and why did you choose the city you're moving to, and, like, I don't know, a thank you. I know. And how many years you're planning to stay. That document, like this motivation letter, isn't written in the description of the requisite, the things you have to have, but like, you have to have it. They ask for it. So take that too. And then for the moving in process, it's really hard to find an accommodation in Germany. So that was also really stressful. I just got like my contract this week, and I live in less than a month. So imagine my anxiety the week before, not having somewhere to sleep. But everything works out. in Germany you have the Studierendenwerk. That's like an organization that helps students, and then you have the residences. You have to apply for those residences many months before. Like you can apply without an acceptance letter. So if you already know you have like this and this and this city as your favorites or your maybes to go to study to, apply for those Studierendenwerke, and apply for the residencies, because you don't have to have the acceptance letter. And if you get an offer, you can just accept it or deny it, and or stay in the wait list. But that way you are already in the wait list, and you have chances, or better chances than the other people. So apply with time and just hope for the best.
So you'd say that like getting housing was the most difficult part of moving abroad?
Totally.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was because I'm moving to a big city in Germany, and the immobilien, no, what's I don't know
Like
the word.
like to move away, it's like different. Okay.
Yeah, I mean the how do you say, the marketplace, the
And the market of housing, like the market of dorms,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
okay.
it's it's horrible because there's a lot of people and not that many apartments or houses for those people to live in. So
Yeah, it
that's
could be difficult.
yeah, that's the reason it's stressful. In 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 smaller cities it's more easy, because you have these residences as the ones in Stuttgart. um but you get more chances because not many people apply to those, because there's not that many people. So you get better chances to getting an offer to live there. And these residencies are really cheap. So I'm gonna pay 379 euros per month, and I get to share an apartment with 4 other people, so we're 5 in total. And I have my own bedroom with like a desk and closets. Then I can like close that with key, and then I have to share the kitchen, the kind of living room or like hanging out space, and the bathroom. So
Okay.
I have just my own bedroom, and the other things are shared with the 4 others.
And like
So
that's different because like you already know these people, or it's like
no,
strangers. No?
they're totally strangers, and they can be like all women or like women and men.
Oh.
So I'm really intrigued about the outcome. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna
It's
it's
gonna
gonna be
be
fun.
new experience. Yeah.
I'm sure it's gonna turn out okay.
Yeah. And
um
if you wait, another tip.
mhm,
Um, if you don't get an offer in those residences like the
mhm,
Studierendenwerk, you can search in WG gesucht, like
mhm,
WG gesucht.
mhm,
Um, and that's a website where you find like those shared flats with other people, and
mhm,
that's a bit better because you get to read about the people. They write like, "Hi, I'm Arantza and live with Miranda. We really like to go out, do sport, go on shopping dates. I don't know, whatever."
mhm.
And then you get to know about the people you're gonna be living with, and if your
Okay.
vibe is matched or not.
Okay. I don't know if it's like only on the parts of Germany that you're going, or like any part of Germany, but did schools give you dorms to live like inside the school? Because I know that like in United States and Canada, where my brothers are, it's like they have dorms inside the school, but I don't know if it's in Germany it's like difficult. No, it's like the dorms and the places that you stay are like far away.
Um, Dorms from the university aren't a thing in
Mm-hmm.
Germany. they don't have those. But this Studierendenwerk, this organization, is like from the city. Like I think it's from the state. So like Germany has this organization for every city, and smaller cities have like, I don't know, Studierendenwerk, this on this city, because they are too small, so they just put those together. But so, for example, the Studierendenwerk Stuttgart, there you can find accommodation, the cafeterias, and everything. And they aren't from the university, like for example Harvard, that has their own dorms, but they are really close to the university. Or if they are not like minutes walking distance from the university, they're a bit further away, a bit far away, but you have like the bus station in front of you, like, or across the street, or 1 minute walk, so you can get easy to the university. I'm gonna be in the center of Stuttgart, and my university is like, if this is Stuttgart, like my university is here. So I'm gonna be in the center, and I have like quick access to the station, and then I get to have like, I don't know, one bus and one train, and I'm already in the station from the university. So it's like 20 minutes, but it's like easy to get there.
Yeah. Okay. You're part of the school athletics team since primary school and competed with different countries. What role did sports play in your personal development?
Well, definitely making friends, choosing a healthier lifestyle. I don't know. I always really liked doing sports and moving and everything that was like related to sports. So that wasn't like quite difficult to pursue. But I don't know, discipline too, and managing time, because I had to go to practice, and then also study, and then also do other things, or going out with my friends. So you really get to know the how to balance your life.
That part of your life that it's sports help you in your like resume to applying to universities. Do you think that it's important for people, to students, to include some type of sport in their CV?
Well, sports always help, because if it's a sport that's played in groups or teams, I mean, universities take that as something good, because you learn how to work, um, how to do teamwork and relate yourself with others. And I don't know, sports people, I think, are always, well, depending on the sport, but normally sports people are more open to working in teams. So I think that would be a good qualification and perspective on people that do sports.
Yeah. I think that you work occasionally in a part-time job, like doing events. And how did that experience impact on, well, if you think that it impacted in your CV, but also in the part of your independence and responsibility?
Well, I was always a responsible girl, and always like really, I don't know, clean and have my things in order. But I didn't like to follow many rules. I'm a bit well, bad on my side, but I'm a bit like, I know that what I'm saying is true, because if not, I wouldn't be saying it. And if I think something is right, it can be a bit difficult to me to accept the other person's opinion. But sometimes. I'm working on it. But this job, like this part-time job, helped me because I had to follow the rules of my manager, and do things as I was told. And yeah, that way, like now I can take like normal orders or stuff, and yeah, I learned.
Yeah, I'm also a proud person, but well,
Mhm.
I think that it's something that you, well, and me need to work a lot. But I
Us.
also think that it could be like very great for a future, because also like when you have like a state in mind, or like when you have a point of view and you know that it's correct, you can like say your point. I think that it's very helpful for a debate.
Yeah, I think it's a cool feature to have, but only if you know how to, like, when to use it and when to give up,
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you have a strong point of view that you believe in, yes, be
Mm-hmm.
proud on it, be stubborn, and keep debating or arguing on it. But if you're not sure, like, we have to learn to give up, like, and say like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah. And well, you mentioned that you wanted to go like to do an internship, but I also, well, in my own experience, I also tried to do an internship here, like in Peru, but it's very difficult because
Yeah,
like companies don't like to have kids around, but
yeah,
not
to hire.
but but also because it is like a very big responsibility, and if something happened to like this child, it could be like a big problem for the company. But like in your opinion, what does this like limit thing that we have, like to do not be able to have a big internship, like other students in other parts of the world like have, how in your opinion it is like it limits you in a way, like in your personal path, or that you try to look in another way and to do another things to fill that space that was in your city?
Well, first of all, following what you said, yes, like in Peru, mostly, companies don't like to hire like young people or kids, like us, because more in my field, like science and that kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a bigger responsibility than just like, I don't know, bartending or being or helping in a cafeteria, something like that. It's like more real responsibility with lives, and because of that it's really difficult to get one. And as I didn't get one or found one, I decided to do this course on Coursera that I mentioned before, because that way I could fill that gap in my resume. Well, not gap, but like experience
Mm-hmm.
related to the career I wanted to study. And that way I thought like people reviewing my application would say like, oh, she hasn't done an interview, I don't know her motives, but she did this instead that's related to, and that shows that you care for your career and that you have interest in it. And if you can't do something with it, like professionally, you found another way to get it,
Mm-hmm.
like experience, I mean.
Yeah, also like demonstrate how disciplined that you are if you want to do this type of thing. Well, I cannot do it because my country doesn't provide it to me, but I found another way. Also another platform I think that it's edX, I think.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
What's one thing you wish someone had told you before starting your application process?
Hmm. Apply to the residences beforehand. Well, I was really lucky to get this offer, but my other friends that applied even earlier didn't get one. So that kind of thing, like really look into your options to where to live, and then maybe I would have liked that someone spoke to me about Coursera because I found it myself. Maybe I would have liked that someone told me about it or like mention it, because that way I could have done more courses in the time that I wasn't applying and wasn't like all German over me.
Mm-hmm.
So that part, like, you can do those things like now.
Mm-hmm. Like you as a German speaker, I have a question. Like if you only apply to German schools, or you also applied for, I don't know, English schools or schools in Europe, and how important do you think is to have this type of backups or this type of different options around the world?
Well, not me, but I have other friends that are going to the Netherlands to study with
Mm-hmm.
the Abitur. And I have others that study in Italy and in France.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't have friends in England, but I'm not sure now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Netherlands is a real good option, and Spain too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and to have these backups, I mean, you can have them, but in Germany, you can have these backups because you have the Universities of Applied Sciences, Hochschule in Deutsch, in German, um, and there is and some of this universities of applied sciences is easier to get in.
Mm-hmm.
So you can also apply to those, like just in case, and have them
On the
like
bottom
in
of your
the
list.
middle. Yeah, at the bottom or the middle, so
Oh.
that you have your plan B, as per se. Austria, like Vienna, is also a good option. Um, if you can, yeah, yeah, it's good to have second options, but they don't have to be in another country. If you really want to go to Germany but are afraid that you won't enter, you can have your plan B in Germany with these Hochschulen.
And in your case, did you apply to like other schools apart of Germany, like an American school or an English school? No.
No, none.
Well, if a listener is planning to apply to Germany or take the Abitur route, what is the most honest piece of advice that you will give to this person?
Hmm, believe in yourself that you will get into the university you like. um, Work real hard on trying to have good notes, like good qualifications, but also focus on having other like filling things in your resume, like these courses or voluntaries or exchanges. Those things really boost your resume up.
If you could sit down for a coffee with your younger self before starting this journey, what would you say to her?
Hmm, good question. Maybe don't stress too much about things that don't require your full energy at that moment. I think that would be my best advice.
Okay, well, that's the end. Thank you so much, Hansen.
You're welcome.